Did you know one classic muscle car once sold for more money than the cost of building an entire neighborhood of houses back in the day? Hard to believe, isn't it? A piece of steel, chrome, and roaring horsepower fetching millions at an auction. But these aren't just cars, they're time machines, reminders of an America that once lived and breathed gasoline, freedom, and Friday night drag races under neon lights. Now, tonight I'm going to take you on a ride through the most expensive muscle cars ever sold. And trust me, by the end, you'll never look at a dusty old car in someone's garage the same way again. Let's start with one that always makes jaws drop, the 1971 Plymouth Hemi Cuda convertible. Only a handful were ever made. Imagine cruising down Route 66 in that beast, top down, the engine shaking your bones with every growl. At auction, one of these beauties fetched over $3.5 million. Why? Because rarity and raw power create a kind of magic you just can't replicate anymore. But that's just the beginning. The 1967 Shelby GT500 Super Snake. Now that's a name that sounds like trouble. Only one exists. Carroll Shelby built it as a test, blending race car fury with street-legal freedom. Years later, when it hit the auction block, it pulled in an astonishing $2.2 million. Can you picture it? That long hood, those racing stripes, and the kind of engine that could make the pavement tremble. Now here's a question for you. What's worth more? Nostalgia or speed? Maybe both. Take the 1970 Chevrolet SS 454 LS6. Known as the king of the streets, this monster wasn't just fast, it was loud, bold, and pure Americana. Some sold for close to $1.2 million. And folks didn't just buy the car. They bought the memory of an era when gas was cheap and the open road was calling. But wait till you hear this next one. The 1969 Dodge Daytona, with that sky-high rear wing that made it look like it was ready to take flight. NASCAR banned it for being too fast. Too fast for racing. Just let that sink in. Years later, collectors shelled out $1.65 million for a piece of outlaw history. That's not just a car, that's rebellion on four wheels. And then, the legend among legends, the 1967 Chevrolet Corvette L88. Under the hood, it carried an engine so powerful that Chevy tried to keep it hidden, fearing regular folks couldn't handle it. Only a handful were ever made. One sold for nearly $3.85 million. Think about that. The price of an American dream, wrapped in fiberglass and fury. What strikes me most isn't just the money, though. It's what these cars represent. They're memories of small-town diners, jukeboxes glowing in the corner, baseball games on the radio, and the thrill of a quarter-mile race at sunset. Owning one of these machines isn't about the horsepower. It's about holding a piece of history, a story you can touch, hear, and feel rumble in your chest. So here's the lesson, my friend. Sometimes value isn't written in dollar signs. It's in the memories, the myths, and the magic that time leaves behind. And if you thought these prices were wild, just wait until you hear about the forgotten muscle cars that might be hiding in barns across America, waiting to be rediscovered. That's a story for another night.